Oh, it took longer this time, but we're live.
Yeah.
I heard Google Hangouts is going away. Someone told me, or maybe I saw something. So I don't know how we're
really
do this if that is true.
We can switch over to Zoom. My Zoom account actually has a webinar feature, so people can sign in and watch. And they'll be muted and stuff automatically.
Can you put it onto the YouTube? Well, does it work with this YouTube live streaming?
Like you can actually. Yeah, I think you can.
Oh,
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I would. That's what we're using for the coding bootcamp webinars. And I've seen there's a section in there for YouTube. So I think you can also do it on Facebook. So
yeah, there's a. Nice. What I would do is there are a couple of services out there that you can stream into that will stream it to both.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool.
In fact, I should look into how to do that because I'd like to do that with my shows.
So I'm back. Sort of. I'm back at it again. I joined the. I sent emails to the Simple Programmer list this week, so
nice.
It's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, Josh and I had a talk last week too, and so I'm gonna kind of be more involved in Simple Programmer again. I got to clean up some stuff with the Bulldog Mindset stuff and get that running, but I'll probably take on some projects, and we'll probably have me in like webinars and stuff like that on Simple Programmer. And possibly we're talking about also resurrecting the Simple Programmer YouTube channel and just having me do like a video a week and then having other people do videos on the channel as well. So might as well have that.
Creating a separate channel?
Yeah, separate one. That'll be specifically Simple Programmer YouTube.
Yeah. Rodrigo had some good ideas about how we can hook the new videos, connect them up with tags and stuff to the old channel to get suggested, like to get a lot of traction on the new channel off of the old channel.
Right.
So you can do a lot of that.
And create playlists.
What about wouldn't podcasts be an easier way to do this?
Well, we should do podcasts as well for sure. Like
as well.
Yeah, we'll probably do a podcast as well.
How about what other marketing channel is left? Because you guys should just
Instagram. Yeah.
And Twitter.
We have a pretty big Instagram following, like a decent Instagram following for Simple Programmer, but
really?
Nice. Yeah, we have 50,000 Twitter followers or so.
Oh, Twitter.
Which is pretty
Instagram
useless.
Is the only one I think that is growing.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm kind of back as far as that goes, and I'm back to Pomodoro's scheduling my week. This week was a pretty damn productive week. Feels good to be fucking just hitting those Pomodori. So got the book launch, did the book launch this week of the Stop Being Lazy book, that ghostwritten book from my YouTube, and it went well. Looks like over 1,000 copies sold in the last 2 days.
Is it under your name?
Yeah, it's under my name. So that launch went really well. Launched it at like 99 cents for Kindle, $2.99, or was it? I think it was $2.99 for a print book. So
I think it was $3.99 for the print.
Oh yeah, whatever the minimum that I could do on there. So it wasn't making any. I mean, it didn't make much money for sure. Like, because when you go to 99 cent, well, unless you can do the special, which I couldn't do the special because of the timing. It was a 30%. You go from the 70% take to the 30%. So we only get 30% royalties on the 99 cent sales, but it did sell over 1,000. Right now it's sitting at like number 350 of all Kindle books in the Kindle page store. So that's pretty good. It's like number one in self-help and number one in business, and like in all of business and money, it's like number 8 right now. So it's good. Yes, way successful. Print book sold a bunch too, and that thing ranked up. The whole point is just to get it ranked up and get some reviews on it.
How many prints did you end up selling?
It's hard to judge because the way it works with the KDP stuff, because they combine it with CreateSpace, is they show you units shipped. So it doesn't count the print books until they're shipped. So yeah, but it definitely looks like a lot less, right? It's like yesterday it showed 20 units shipped of print, but 514 sold of the Kindle, and today it's showing 11 paperbacks shipped so far. So it's funny though. There's a review. I love this review.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Why so often usage of F word? Good book. This is a 2-star review, right? The only 2-star. Good book, but often using F word and similar words makes me stumble. It looks like John loses quality of his vocabulary. I can't get why. Can he hire some good editor that will rephrase his sentences into something better sounding? So I've been replying to all of the comments. Oh,
maybe
shoot,
it
got deleted.
Your reply got deleted?
Oh, yeah, it did. Amazon must have deleted it. That's horrible.
Oh, you can reply? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you can reply to comments. Yeah, my reply to the comment was, actually, I hired an editor to put more fucks into the book, and then I said, thanks for the fucking review.
Well, I can see why Amazon deleted that.
Yeah, but I bleeped it just like he bleeped it. So anyway, that yeah, so that went well. So and then there's a lead magnet in the book, the playlist, the Bulldog playlist. So that Bulldog Mindset is up now and running, and
the website is up and running.
Yeah, the website, it's been kind of up, but now it's like officially up and working. And I just put in a lead magnet for it yesterday, which is pretty cool. I think it's the Are You a Bulldog quiz.
Right.
And so actually on the Bulldog playlist, I've already got like 160 subscribers that from the book that have downloaded the book and took the opt-in.
And how many opt-ins have you gotten already for this?
Total, like, what is the list size?
Yeah.
The list size is 184 right now. So not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, you probably are not tracking the conversion, and the early conversions are not a good indicator either, because you're going to get a lot of fan.
Well, yeah. When I had just like a ridiculously stupid pop-up on the site, like as my placeholder, I was getting a what was it? It was like, what was it, Josh? Was it like a 50% conversion?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's to be expected.
Yeah, because people like are specifically seeking out the site, right? And converting from there. But what I did with so basically people are coming in from the book now, right? And then also the other opt-in is I'm using that Thrive Quiz Builder, which is actually pretty cool. That's that Are You a Bulldog quiz. Yeah. And it's got a pretty good, like, as far as completions rate, it's really high. Like, of the people that visit the quiz, something like, where is it? It's over like 70% of people take it and sign up with their email.
How many questions are there?
Let me see. There's 10 questions.
Wow. 70% 10 questions.
Yeah. Let me see. So if I look at the stats on this, like on the dashboard, basically,
do they have to put their email address in to get the score, or is it?
Yes, they have to put their email address in. Okay, so check this out. 114 impressions of the quiz. Okay. I'm not 114, 144. Now guess how many people put in their email address out of 144 impressions. That's the pop-up showing would you like to take the Bulldog quiz.
Do you have to put in your email before you take the quiz, or after you take the quiz?
After you take the quiz to get the results.
Okay, so how many people do it? I would say maybe 60. It's right now you have like the earliest adopters.
Yeah, it's 69.
Okay.
So
almost 50%.
Yeah, so the conversion rate is insane right now on it. Now, a lot of them are coming from the book, and they're coming from YouTube and whatnot. But I predict that the conversion rate will be pretty high. And plus, it has like a social share thing. There's been 6 social shares to share the quiz and share the results.
Good.
So
that's good.
Yeah. So basically, the whole plan with this is you take that quiz and then you get dropped into an email sequence, and that email sequence has the first email is like, what is your score? And so what Bulldog quiz results meaning, and it's like everything from baby Chihuahua to it's like it goes like baby Chihuahua, angry Chihuahua, baby Bulldog, lazy Bulldog, Bulldog, true Bulldog, Bulldog leader, Bulldog Jedi, ultimate Bulldog.
Oh my God.
You didn't put rabid Bulldog in there.
You need more levels in that, John.
Yeah.
So far, most people are scoring in the like lazy Bulldog range, like the 40 to 50 points out of 100.
Are you yeah? I mean, these are fun in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the ultimate Bulldog is like, you are a force to be reckoned with. Damn, son, what the hell got into you? If there is an obstacle in your way, the obstacle better watch out. Chuck Norris might have a poster of you on his wall.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, so the plan is basically they go into there, and then that email pitches the book and gets them in the address book, tells them to open the damn emails when they get them, and then asks them to share the quiz with their friends to see
Mm.
how they rate, how they compare. So it makes that competition thing. And then like the next email in the sequence, I'm promoting Manny's mental toughness course to talk about like getting mentally tough. And then there's like what exactly is the Bulldog mindset, which is more of just informational, like inspiring. And then the last one is like a coaching to offer personal coaching. So I just want to kind of get some kind of email sequence together so I can kind of put this more on autopilot. Yeah. So that's, I've been working on getting that all working, but I think it's cool. The quiz stuff. I think that's going to be, it'll be interesting, Josh, to see how this works here with that. And then see if it's super successful, trying to do something similar with Simple Programmer with the quiz. Like we talked about doing like some kind of like level, like, class character level progression type of like thing. And I think that we could do that with a quiz.
You're not sending out emails according to their levels, right? It's just everyone's getting the same emails after that, after the first email.
Yeah.
Or even the first email tells them, the first email is specific to them?
No, it just has like the rating chart, so you can see what all I didn't really have the ability to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
You'd have to push, well, what you'd have to do would be to put, is there a way to push the score into Drip?
And is it worth it?
I mean, it wouldn't be worth it at this point, I don't think.
Not at this point. Like that's some future sophistication. So here's one thing that's actually pissing me off. I put in a request with Drip or with Thrive, because so within the quiz builder, they implemented something really awesome, which is that you can tag people based on their answers, right? So my questions, I've got questions like, let me go through, I'll kind of give you an idea of what my questions are.
You use the quiz sort of like a survey. Is that kind of what you're looking at this as too?
You can segment your audience, right? So I specifically ask questions that would be, would help determine their bulldogness, but also be strategic for me to know about my audience. So like I did one, the first one is when you sit down to get work done, how long does it take to get you started? And like I've got people tagged there, the ones that are basically like,
interesting.
I tag them for some of the answers like that are bad. Like I tag them with procrastination, and then for like the worst answers, I tag them with procrastination and laziness, right? Because that's what I can sell them later, right? Because I know if they're struggling with these, and I've worded these right? And then like how many times a week do you work out? You know, and so I'm tagging people with laziness and not fit, and then people with very fit. Because again, products that you might sell, like segmenting to very fit people, you're going to sell them or pitch them a totally different way than people who are not fit at all.
Yeah.
You know, and then I've got a bunch of.
There's also one thing where in the most productive people are the ones most likely to buy productivity courses.
Exactly. Right. But the problem is that you can't send this to Drip with the Drip integration. There's like, they support Aweber and like a few others to send tags, but the Drip API supports it. So I put in a request with Thrive and said, hey, let's, like, you know, Drip API supports this. So there's, or is there a workaround? There must be, you know, I don't know right now, but there must be some manual way to push those tags.
The way that I've done it in a couple cases was like I would push, they wouldn't support tagging, but they would support custom information, custom info, custom fields.
Yeah.
So if you can do that, then you can trigger the tags. But that can be a real pain. If you've got like a bunch of tags you're applying that, I wouldn't recommend that, because you'd end up with all these different custom fields.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it at this time. It might be worth later on.
Yeah.
I'm collecting the data so I can, you know, figure out some way to harvest that later if I need to.
You might be able to export it and import it into Drip or something.
Yeah, there might be some way. I'll have to figure it out, but you know, that's a future potential optimization. But being able to segment the audience that way would be pretty damn awesome, especially because I've got some financial questions in there too, right? Like, how financially successful are you? And, you know, you can figure out who's got the money, and also like who's an entrepreneur and who's not. And so there's a bunch of questions there. Because the thing is, like I'd like to very target the message, right, to their pain point. Because like Bulldog Mindset, the people that are coming here, they have specific pain points, right? There's things that they are definitely working on, and if I can hit those pain points. But so anyway, I'm just happy to have the quiz up and to be collecting the, you know, getting that rolling. So yeah, so it's looking good. Yeah, and I've got like a schedule now. I'm basically breaking the YouTube videos into daily, like theme days, like Mindset Mondays and Wealth Wednesdays, Fitness Friday, Social Saturday, and gonna start having those put out that way.
Are you doing the like list building from YouTube already now? Are you like doing the call to action on YouTube for this?
Not yet. I've got a whole list of, like, my plan right now is I want to get Bulldog Mindset on autopilot, but I've got a bunch of things I need to do that, and then I want to jump more into Simple Programmer and start taking on some projects and maybe do that.
No, but you're still going to continue on doing Bulldog Mindset course? I mean, Bulldog Mindset YouTube channel?
Yeah. But the autopilot will be basically me just shooting video. Like, the only thing I'll need to really do every week is shoot videos and then do a few blog posts. But in order to do that, there's still like, I'm trying to think what's left here. I've got it all planned out, but I need to go through and, well, I need to create the Bulldog Mindset podcast, which is again just going to be a duplication of the YouTube. I've got to go and update YouTube. There's a bunch of stuff like adding the description, creating the new logo. I need to do like a 99 Designs competition to have a Bulldog Mindset actual logo, and then updating all the links and stuff. There's a bunch of stuff, more than you would think. I'm also toying with the idea of doing a membership on Bulldog Mindset, the YouTube membership, where members would get 2 videos a day instead of 1 video a day.
So, what do you think of Patreon?
I'm done with Patreon. I just don't like them. Well, it's too much of a hassle. It's like off the thing, and then you've got to like deliver. You know, it's just, and then they take it.
Does YouTube allow you to do subscriptions right in the channel now?
Oh, yeah, they just added that.
That's cool.
Yes, so that could work for like having an extra video per week on there, so or per day.
So what I was asking was, are you doing a call to action? Are you going to do call to action in YouTube now for your list building?
Yeah, what I'll probably do, I haven't really given it a huge amount of thought, but I think, I mean, let's see how that Bulldog quiz does. But I feel like that's going to be the best call to action to do, is just to say, hey, take the quiz and find out if you're a Bulldog, because that's like, it's just such a curiosity thing, right? To me, it's like such an easy sell to get people to opt in. Like if I try to say like, download this list, or what better thing can I say than like find out if you're a fucking Bulldog, right? Or how Bulldog you are. I can't think of something more appealing that would appeal to that audience. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be the plan to make that the call to action. So
okay, every video you're going to have a call to action off YouTube now?
It might not be every. I mean, my main call to action is still subscribe, right? But in the description, the link could be that, or every once in a while, I can have a, or maybe I'll talk to Rodrigo about putting like a little on the end card, find out if you're a Bulldog, click here, or something like that.
That's tough, especially if you're not really selling it yourself. It doesn't really have high conversions unless you yourself say, hey, by the way, take the Bulldog mindset quiz. Then you're going to have higher conversions on that, right?
Right. Yeah. So I think, every once in a while, that's something that I would say, but not every single one,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I basically just want to get this. I want to get the system in place, get this on autopilot, so then I can transition more of my time back over to working on some simple programmer projects. Now that Josh is the boss, he can tell me what to do.
You're reporting to Josh?
Yep.
Nice.
I'm also going to record the audio version of the book now, because the launch was successful enough that it makes sense to do an audio.
But you already have the videos.
No, the audio version of Stop Being Lazy book.
That's what I'm saying. You already have the videos.
Yeah, but they're not. It's not a transcript. It's a synthesization from the videos.
Not a
synthesis. A synthesis. I can make whatever words I want.
I mean, you could actually stitch together all of those.
Where's my MAGA hat?
You could stitch together all those videos, and that would become the Stop Being Lazy video course.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, potentially, but it's easy enough to just like reproduce the actual. I mean, the thing is, like, when you create a course or a book, the value that you're giving people is that you're taking information and you're streamlining it, condensing it, and making it a step-by-step sequence, right? So I'm hesitant to put out like courses that are just like a collection of the free stuff, right? Like the thing is, like, whenever someone makes an argument of like, why should I pay for this shit? It's all free out there. You made free blog posts and free YouTube videos, or it's free, or the internet is free. Like, don't charge for. My answer is always, well, because do you want a curated, condensed, step-by-step way how to no bullshit how to do this and not waste your time, or do you want to sort through, the library is fucking free as well, but do you really want to sort through all of that?
That should be a question on your Bulldog quiz.
Is it what?
Do you spend 6 hours a day hand curating your own free content so you don't want to pay? It was really funny. We got some emails back. We had two people that have been replying to a lot of the emails lately. Is this guy named Will and this guy named Adam. And Will said that he can't buy the 99-cent book right now because he's saving up to buy the career guide, which is $4.99. And then Adam, who's been replying a lot lately, basically said, yeah, I can't afford it. It's like, seriously?
Yeah. I mean, you got to quit eating McDonald's for like an hour.
Yeah, just order a small fry instead of a large fry, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Just wait though till I start. Well, I already replied to some people. I can use a little bit of a different tone on the Bulldog Mindset.
Are you getting emails on Simple Programmer, replies on Simple Programmer emails?
Those were replies on Simple Programmer emails, yeah.
That John sent out?
Yeah.
It wasn't like an announcement that I'm back. It was more like, hey, I wrote this book.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that I'll be spending some more time on a Simple Programmer stuff as well. So, which will be good. I'm excited. I think we're gonna kick some ass here. It feels good to be back in the action. So
that's good.
But yeah, so it's up, it's running, it's good. We'll see what happens. There's still, like I said, some work to do to get it all streamlined and everything. And I'm gonna basically, the way I'm looking at Bulldog Mindset is as sort of a testing ground for some strategies that we could potentially, like an incubator almost, for some stuff that we could do in Simple Programmer, right? Because there's very little risk. I don't have any big audience. I don't have, like, I can fuck around with Bulldog Mindset and not worry about the consequences. So I want to try testing out a content distribution system. So I want to look at, there's a couple of them out there. Like Gary Vee has one. I think he might have a product. I'm not sure, or but Penjun, I think is his name. Is it? He's got, I'm going to look at his course. He's got like a content syndication course. And so what I'd like to do is come up with an actual, like, streamlined process where I can record a video a day, like, like an hour worth of video, essentially. That becomes 2 YouTube videos. It becomes an Instagram, like 5 Instagram clips, or whatever, some Instagram stories. It becomes like a Facebook video. It becomes, what else on there? Like a blog post that gets transcribed and then reformatted.
That's exactly what my guy is doing right now.
Which guy?
My video guy is actually taking all my videos and creating small videos for Instagram. And my writer is writing the blog posts of those videos. And then the Instagram also, like, he's creating quotes for it so that they can go on Twitter and Instagram and also go to Facebook page. So why would you need a course for something like that? I mean, that's pretty simple, straightforward syndication.
I want to see how they're doing it. I want to see, like, how they're planning these things out. I mean, John,
all this content about how to do this is out there for free.
Exactly.
Stop it.
So anyway, I'm gonna probably, I'm gonna come up with my own plan, but I'm gonna research their stuff first to see, right, these guys are doing it. They've been doing it for a while, so let's see what their workflow looks like and how to get this. But I think that's the way to go, to try and, like, basically, because then as a content creator, all I have to do is basically record like an hour of video every day, and that's it. Everything else, I want to get to the point where that's what I do, and then everything else flows from there.
Record a video every day.
Yep.
I'd much rather just record 6 videos in a week and be in a day and be done with it for the rest of the week or the month or the year.
Well, that could be done as well, but
yeah, because it's like an inertia thing with video. It takes a certain amount of, but you already have everything set up, so I guess for you that's inertia is like 0 now.
Yeah, it's pretty much 0 for.
So Josh, now that you have a new employee, what are the plans?
Well, so I spent part of yesterday planning out what I'm thinking for the next quarter. And let me see if I can have that somewhere. think it's right here.
Oh, I should get my Summit notes. Hang on.
So, yeah, so basically what I'm planning is to do, so every month we'll do, Manny asks the question, then he leaves. There we go. Where is Manny? Manny's back. There we go. Yeah, Manny, I just paused while you were gone there. So, yeah, so I basically planned out themes for the next 4 months. So what I'm thinking is that if I've got a consistent theme for the month, then I can pick something for the membership and then a secondary offer that both make sense. So we're basically talking about the same thing all month. So for example, so October is almost over. I'm basically going to just do a membership enrollment push, and the theme's going to be I'm back, like, and have John kind of like say he's going to be back, and we're going to do he's going to do a 90-minute, yeah, with his shirt off, of course. So we're going to do a 90-minute. We're going to pitch it as like John's going to be doing this 90-minute like kind of hot seat type of thing where you can submit a question. If your question gets picked, you get 5 minutes of FaceTime with John to ask your question and get some feedback. So I want to see how, like, just adding that one little thing, does that move the needle from where we were on the membership?
Right.
So it's like, was putting John back into it significantly jump what we were seeing? I'm thinking that it will, because I'm betting that a lot of people would be willing to pay $99 for 5 minutes of FaceTime with John. So I think we should see a nice jump on that. And then I've got themes for November, December, and January. So
hold on, they will only pay if their question is picked.
No.
Oh, no. They'll pay for, they'll submit their question. They're all going to pay to become members, and then they'll be able to join the webinar. And if they get picked, they'll be able to ask their question.
Right. So it's a members only webinar.
Members only webinar, and then yeah, and then
so I wonder if you'll get the
questions and get answers.
Yeah, I wonder if you'll get the question like, hey, if I pay the money, will my question be picked?
And the answer will be no.
No guarantee.
We will pick good questions. If you pay the money and you pick you submit a really good question, then your question will be picked.
It depends on how much money you pay.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe we could have a tip jar option where they pay.
No, so there is a YouTube tip jar option actually.
Yeah, if they pay $4.99, then yes, they'll get picked automatically.
So you guys know about the YouTube free jar, the YouTube live chat, right?
Oh yeah, we've used that before. John's used that, I think, on the shirts off.
Yeah,
literally, like if you pay enough money, your question can be answered. Not a bad idea.
So we're going to see how that, I'm going to see how that affects things at all. So that'll be the only change. We'll basically be putting John back into it. And so then November, I'm going to do, the theme's going to be self-confidence. So it's going to be self-confidence month. And I think what I'm going to do with these a lot of times is start off the month by sending a couple of emails that are just like surveys, like one-liners. So I'm thinking like, what does confidence look like to you? What does lack of confidence look like to you? I should get a ton of replies from that. And then I can use that as fodder. Because like doing 20 to 25 emails around the same topic is going to be kind of difficult. I think so. I'm going to, hopefully a lot of good stuff will fall out of doing that. And then we'll be talking about confidence, self-confidence all month. I'm going to do another membership push, and we will be having like a members only self-confidence coaching session, probably with John, and possibly some kind of book discussion around self-confidence for the members. And then for Cyber Monday,
get to do that.
I wonder.
The book discussion. So for Cyber Monday, I was thinking, Manny, that we would do your self-confidence book bundle offer.
Okay.
So that would kind of like, so we'd be talking about it all month. That will give me a chance to, it will hopefully give me a chance to kind of, get that topic, people thinking about that topic, and the two offers that we put in front of them will make a lot more sense in that context. And it'll be, we'll be telling stories and stuff to kind of agitate that
So can we, I mean, are you going to somehow tie it up with the membership drive so that when people buy it, they can buy the membership site? Is that how part of the plan too, or
separate? with the for right now? I mean, eventually I'd like to do that. You mean for the Cyber Monday thing with your?
Yeah, that's very difficult to pull off.
Yeah, right now, no. But maybe eventually, what I'd want to do, and what I was trying to explain before, was that instead of having affiliate offers, what we do is we have a membership drive, and then we do content for the members. Like we do a 90-minute webinar about self-confidence with someone, and then we turn around and we sell that as a standalone offer.
Right.
At the end of the month, maybe. So like we do the membership push mid-month, get a bunch of people in, we do the webinar, we record the webinar, we edit the webinar, and then at the end of the month, we sell that for $29. And so we get a second hit of revenue from the people who are not going to sign up for the membership. So we get like, basically we're selling the membership, but then we have some auxiliary content that spins out of that. And I might even make those webinars only available one time instead of leaving them out, because that
would make sense.
Like if it would be like you get this now or it's gone forever and only members can access it type of thing, we can test both. But because I don't think like if we just had it in the store, we probably would sell one a month or two or 5 a month. So most of the revenue would be right up front. So whatever we can do to maximize
it's like
that.
You're going to sell a mini course is what you're selling.
Essentially, yeah. It's essentially a mini course, but it's all in one video. So we're not having...
Right. You're not going to call it a webinar, or it's a mini course or something like that.
Or a training or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, live training.
Yeah. And then I think for December, John had met with Bluehost and was talking to them about doing a Bluehost promotion. So I'm thinking December I might do Marketing Yourself Month, where we do a Bluehost promotion, and then we do a kind of a members webinar where it's like something like 7 ways to market yourself in 2019, where it's like what's working now type of thing if you're interested in marketing yourself. And then for January, I was thinking Motivation Month. And we do, I don't have that as planned out yet, but that would be the theme. And I might actually move the enrollment drive up to the beginning of the month, so we can say like, what about New Year's, let's hit this hard. And then I don't have sorry.
Like that, there could be goals and accomplishing your goals and all that stuff, because that is huge at that time of the year, like late December, early January. Planning, goal setting, execution, all of that stuff becomes really critical.
So something along those lines. And then, so what I'm thinking is like, all right, so we've got all these, with the audience, we have all these little tiny sliver segments. And this way I can rotate, essentially we're rotating, we're selling the same thing, which is the membership. And we're going to have targeted content for all those different interest areas, and we can rotate among the different segments that we have. So there's certain topics that we know are really popular that everybody wants to hear about. So we can rotate among those, hopefully get 100 people here, 100 people there on these different vectors, and feed them all into the membership and then we'll be building a content library in the membership. So over time it'll get more and more valuable. So that's what we're going to be trying for the next few months. And I think it'll be very interesting. Like the one with John coming back, that'll be very telling for how well this is all going to work.
And when you think about it too, it's like, I was kind of torn on this, because I'm like, do I really want to like, again, integrate myself back into this whole thing? But if you think about it, it's like, it's not that I have to be there all the time doing, what I mean, like being the constant face of it. It's just that, it's like every once in a while, it's like, John is still part of this thing, like showing up,
so
an email, something like that is all that's really required.
One of the, actually part of what helped me crystallize this was one of our listeners, Zolt. He's a member in the group, and he said, well, what if John came back just a little bit? And I was like, you know what, like, what if we made, so the one thing that John leaving was it made him a very scarce commodity, right? So if we bring him back, but basically he's really only available inside the membership. I mean, we'll have the one YouTube video, but the main way that you would hear from John is by joining the membership. So I think that could be pretty powerful, because we basically removed him, and I'm still going to be the one sending out the emails. We might still, John will probably do one occasionally, but most of them will be from me. And then if we do this right, it gives us air cover for a while. We can bring in more people. Like you could do the self-confidence webinar. We could bring in somebody else to do the webinar, and John could host it. So he shows up, he says hi, he introduces the person, and then interjects a comment here and there. And it's not like he has to prepare anything or really anything. He's just kind of there. And if we do that once a month, and maybe John answers a few questions here and there, I think we could keep this whole thing to where it's like the minimum commitment. Well, and we're not even going to commit that it's ongoing either. Like, I'm not going to say anywhere that John will be around. Like, there's going to be no guarantees of anything, but we're going to plan one thing at a time and promote that. And if that's the last thing, we're not, nobody needs to know that.
Yeah.
So it should allow us to grow the membership, like to use John's influence to grow the membership to a point where it really takes on a life of its own, and then bring and to give more credibility to other experts and stuff. Which if I were to go back and do this all over again, this is what I would do. I would have probably started in early 2017, and would have built the membership up exactly the way that I'm describing here. So,
but this will work out well, because, like you said, the absence. It's like, what's it like? Is it which law about, like, number 16 or something? I think is like create absence to use absence to. So, but no, I think it'll end up working out best, and we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with this. I mean, I guess the book was kind of like, with the book launch, it was kind of a telling. So that got a bigger response than I expected.
Yeah. Well, and I was telling John, the responses to the emails are like 30 times more than what I've been seeing. So I'll send out, like, I've been sending out emails to like the entire broadcast segment. So like 80,000 people, and I will get 2 out of office replies and one guy going like, I can't log into my Simple Programmer account. And I'm like, is this thing on? Like, is this working? And his first email generated like 25 replies. The middle one didn't generate as many, but the third one generated like another 30 replies. So it's definitely like, that's definitely a big factor, I think.
Take a look at the Asian efficiency membership site sales page. I just sent it to you guys.
Chat. Where's the chat?
The people need you, John.
Cool. Well, it's like I said. I think it's fine to be like, as long as I'm not like just like chained to the thing, right? I think that's the thing. So,
what are we looking at here, Manny?
It's their Asian efficiency, the membership that they're selling.
Yeah, I mean, is there something in specific that you were wanting to highlight about it, or
no?
Just to...
Okay, fine. I get it. This is what we're gonna do, Josh. We're gonna make a site called White People Efficiency. Anglo efficiency.
That can't possibly go wrong.
There we go.
No one will have a problem with that. Anglo efficiency. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Anglo efficiency.
What I'm trying to get at is like analyzing what they're offering in their membership that allows them to charge like $300-400 a month or a year, or like $1,000 lifetime and all that stuff. Like, they have a lifetime option of $1,000.
Right.
So how John, how do you make that OK sign so that that everybody but me knew was a white power symbol? I can't remember. I still don't have that straight.
Why are you asking me as if I would know this?
I don't know.
No. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just funny.
Yeah, Manny. This is where we need to get eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, their sales page is pretty intricate in the sense they're delivering quite a lot of stuff in there, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, they've got a coaching component, right? They've got. I mean, I'm sure they didn't start with all this.
Yeah.
But they've got a lot of they've got courses. They've got a coaching component.
Yeah, they have a forum. They have courses.
Accountability group.
I'm really confused now, though, because there's like this better sleep course they have, and there's pictures of this redheaded girl. I don't understand what happened here.
Where?
Go to their sleeping course. Better sleep.
I'm not looking at their sleeping course. I'm looking at their dojo.
Oh, okay. Well, their sleeping course has a redheaded woman in there.
So redheads can't sleep? What are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying like I like she's their customer for Asian efficiency, I guess. I don't know.
So she's not Asian?
I don't think she's Asian.
Everyone is allowed to be Asian. I have given the charter to anyone who wants to be Asian can be Asian.
Inbox detox.
Nice. Anyway.
Yeah, no, they've got a good system for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got all the 3 components. I was just listening to some podcasts.
Yeah.
Like 3 components of any membership site is content,
right,
coaching, and community.
And the thing too, again, I mean, I'm making fun of the Asian efficiency name, but seriously, it's pretty damn smart because it's an identification, right, of that community and that group, right?
Right.
In fact, I started employing the same thing with Bulldog. Like in the YouTube videos now, I'm saying, "Hey, Bulldogs," I'm calling them Bulldogs, right? Like because I want to create that. Then if you create a name, if you create that association, so we need something maybe for Simple Programmer though, for like. What are they?
I've thought about it a few times and I haven't been able to come up with anything.
Yeah, the best one I came up with was
Simpletons?
Yeah, Simpletons. Was the
best. I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing like one thing I'm hoping will come out of this rotation of course or like topics is that we're going to do 10 of these and one of them is going to be like we normally get 100 signups a month and then one of them we're going to get 300, right? And then that's one where we do a bigger course around it because that's clearly something that sparked the interest of the audience for whatever reason. Like I'm betting that imposter syndrome will be one of those.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For sure. I've got a video on that, Josh, when you...
Yeah, I know. I've sent out a link to it, and it got the highest click-through rate that we've gotten in about a year. So
I've got another one, like a recent one. I don't know if you... Like where I talked about having... I'd rather have delusions of grandeur than imposter syndrome, right? And the idea of like, just have delusions of grandeur. Think you're way greater and better than you are, and have these, like that's a better mental state and attitude to have. I think that one will probably fall pretty good on that audience too. So
yeah. I think like all the emails I've seen from Josh and the sales page is literally just selling the community more or less, right?
Yeah. Yes. Which is not well, except for the 2 weeks of content and 6,000 words I put together selling Interview Bootcamp.
The Interview Bootcamp is separate. That's another story.
Well, but that was a content. Yeah, I mean that was an attempt to sell content versus community.
No, I'm talking about just this group that you're trying to do, the master, the membership month, the membership.
Yeah, I know. Well, right now all we have in it is the membership group. So that's what this is designed to address. So
yeah, exactly. So the more content you have, the easier it is to sell that thing. Exclusive webinars, masterclass, course, book club, rituals.
Well, I would say the more content you have, the more angles you have.
Yeah.
I mean, just having a big library in and of itself is not really that attractive. But
with an end result.
it gives you
with an end result.
That's what I was going to say.
Is exactly, you need with an end result. Yes.
Here's the core, right? Here are the outcomes that we're going to get you.
Right. Exactly.
We're going to give you abs like John. I don't know.
Which is what I've been trying to figure out, is what are those outcomes?
Yeah.
In
case of productivity, it's pretty straightforward. Productivity.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. There's it's a single topic. It's very focused. What we have is productivity as a slice. Productivity is one of those 5% slices that we have.
Yeah.
And then we've got a bunch more. So this way I can kind of I can rotate them until if I find 3 or 4 that are like, okay, bullseye, then I'll pull those up, and those will become major focuses of everything that we do and major focuses of the membership and everything. But till I figure out what those are.
I'm curious, Josh, are you managing all of this through simpleprogrammer.com, or is it all hosted somewhere else?
So you mean the actual funnels and all that stuff, or
no, like when people sign up? Do they go sign up at simpleprogrammer.com?
Oh, so they go sign up in the WooCommerce store, which is simpleprogrammer.com/store.
And
then that's the shopping cart. And then the membership is actually hosted on the forum software, which is at simpleprogrammer.com/members. And that I'm actually right now, like I have it open on my screen, I'm writing an integration between WooCommerce and Zenforo, which is our forum software. So that, because right now when people sign up, what I'm doing is I'm emailing them a link to a hidden but public page where they have to register. So gotcha. Literally, like theoretically, anyone could register right now. They don't get automatic access. I have to go in and grant them access. But this way, I'm automating it so when you subscribe, you'll get all the right access, and you won't have to go in and do a separate step. So that'll be really nice when I get that, because we've gotten so clunky right now, and we've gotten so many questions. We got a lot of questions about it during this boot camp, because it's kind of crazy. People get a lot of emails when they sign up for that. You got like 10 emails. I'm not even kidding. And I slimmed it down to like 6. And I want to get that down further. So I think I am going to look for at some point a way to host our videos and content on Simple Programmer. So I'm going to go back down that rabbit hole again, and eventually like phase out Podia, because then we'll be able to. Because right now they have to have 3 accounts, and it just sucks. Like they have a Simple Programmer store account, they've got the forum account, and they've got their Podia account. And between one of those 3, the chances that something's going to get goofed up or confused is high. So we get a lot of support requests.
So you're going to phase out Podia? What do you mean?
Yeah, eventually. I want to get back. I want to try. I was talking to a guy who has 120 courses that are similar to what I have been talking about here with these member webinars, and he hosts them on LearnDash, which is a WooCommerce integrated course. I had looked at it briefly. I forget why I disqualified it, but I'm going to take another look and see if I can't find something that we can host, because then it will be like, basically it would be one account. You can register at Simple Programmer. There's a way to actually allow you to log them into the forum automatically. So they register at the store, and then they're logged into the membership site. And they can get access to their content, and it's all, so they don't have 3 different accounts.
Single sign-on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing with Teachable right now. Why do we need a store account?
Because if you're going to have a recurring payment in WooCommerce, you need to have a user to associate that recurring payment with.
That's messed up. Yeah, that's messed up.
Well, I mean, you do that on Teachable too.
Well, I just have one account, Teachable.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying when somebody signs up,
even though I'm taking payment on ThriveCard, and even it's recurring payment, the only account people have.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yep. Gotcha.
Everything is.
But then, can they manage their own? They can't manage their recurring payments, can they?
So the thing was, they could have, if I had used the Teachable payment solution, then it would have been complete integration with Teachable. I just don't like their funnel, so I like to use Stripe cards. But that can always be,
Right.
But at least like my school is in one place with all the courses visible, even if you haven't bought the courses, you still, anywhere time you log in, you can see all the courses that are available. So.
Right. That's actually not really much different because you don't have the forums situation.
Yeah. The forum situation is a separate beast.
Yep. So that is what I'm thinking for now. We'll see how the next couple months go.
What did I learn
from VidCon? Oh yeah,
Which summit?
Oh yeah, I know what I learned from VidCon.
Oh shit! Tell me about
that. I learned that a lot of 14-year-old girls watch YouTube.
Are they watching you?
Huh? No, because like VidCon was like a teenage girl fest. That's what it was. It was like insane numbers of like, woo!
Yeah, VidCon is totally useless.
Not learning anything, not like just, not going to Vid Summit again. I mean, VidCon again.
No, Vid Summit is completely different. Yeah. It's all YouTubers basically. Yeah.
You were hanging out with Gary V at Vid Summit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gary V was there. It was interesting. One of the most
what's he promoting these days? Social media platform of choice. Because he moved on from Snapchat.
Oh, he's a big time YouTuber, right? And Instagram.
Instagram is probably his.
Yeah, his favorite. Yeah, Snapchat is already like he doesn't talk about Snapchat anymore.
Yeah, I know. Well, because they're like on the verge of bankruptcy right now. So I saw that the other day, and I was like, I wonder if Gary V's still.
They're in big trouble. They're
banging that drum.
They're going down really fast.
Yeah.
I had someone from VaynerMedia just reach out to me last week trying to get me to interview the guy that created CAA, Creative Artists Industry. So he's got a book coming out.
VaynerMedia is reaching out. VaynerMedia is doing like influencer marketing now.
Mm-hmm. That's what they've been doing.
That's how for books and stuff. I thought they were doing like Fortune 500 companies.
Well, the Creative Artists Agency is the biggest casting agency in Hollywood. So.
I see. Literally, man, I can't really find anything that was useful.
What? Did you go to the session? I expected Vid Summit to actually have good quality, like,
all of this shit you know already.
Yeah.
Like, there's like some literally tidbits of like tactical information, like, hey, how to do, some keyword research or like thumbnails and titles and stuff like that, or creating playlists and more playlists and more playlists. But in terms of like strategic big picture stuff, I couldn't really put my finger on anything that was like strategic big picture stuff, other than just the connections there, just hanging out with people. Maybe Gary V's speech was more like probably the highest level strategic big picture. And in that, like, okay, so the thing that I think I will take away the most, and that's something that I guess I have, it's something that no matter how many times I do it, I will still have to keep reminding myself. So there's this girl who stood up, she's like, hey, I do this, and I want to reach out, like I want to work with Fortune 500 companies to be able to help them with this, and I just don't know how to get them, and like she's complaining about this stuff. Like Gary likes to do like Q&A half the time, right?
Yeah.
It's like Ask Gary V stuff. So she's like, I don't know how to do this. I have the skill, but what do I do? Blah, blah, blah. She's going on and on. And Gary's like, here's what you're going to do. You're going to put your butt down for the next 1 week and send 900 emails to all the email addresses you can find of all the HR people that you can find of all the companies that you're interested in. There's no strategy here. You're just gonna freaking start reaching out, and that's it. Then he's like, what he said was, you just need more ad bats. You haven't done any batting. Like, you're saying you want to do this, but you haven't really tried to go out to make this work. So it's just like, there's nothing. You just need to go and do this. Like, keep asking, and maybe initially it will be 1% people who will respond, and then you will change tact, and it'll be 2%, it'll be 3%, it'll be 4%, whatever. But you just got to go do the fucking work.
Yeah. That's actually pretty damn good advice.
Yeah, because we're like, a lot of times we get stuck in our head thinking like there must be some secret way to get into the doors of all wherever we're trying to get. But sometimes it's as simple as just knocking on the doors. That's how I got my first 10, 20 author interviews. Just literally just started emailing them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my takeaway from VidSummit.
Nice.
Brute force always works.
Well, nobody else does it. Nobody else is willing to do that kind of work.
Yeah, most people are not. Most people are looking for that one strategy from Gary Vee that will allow them to break through.
Yeah. How do I do it in 5 minutes?
Yeah,
it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. I mean, it's like always the answer, right? Too. Like, I mean, I was just researching like marathon because I'm running in 4 weeks, and I want to break a 4-hour marathon, and I was like, I wonder what it takes to like qualify for the Boston Marathon, like to break a 3-hour essential marathon. And guess what the answer is? Instead of running like 50 or 60 miles a week like I'm running, you run 100 miles a week, maybe 110. So the answer is you just fucking run a lot more, right? It's like, duh, like that's it. That's the answer. There's not like any, like, I mean, there's like some people who are like, oh, you can do this kind of workout or do hill sprints or repeats, but the real answer is if you run 120 miles a week and you do that for about 4 months, you'll be able to run a 3-hour marathon. So there you go.
Time on your feet, as they call it in marathon, right? In training.
Yeah, time on your feet. But it's the answer to so many things, right? It's the answer to so many things, right? It was the same thing like when I was doing my talk at FinCon and people were asking, well, how do you grow your YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers? Like, but just keep on making a shit ton of videos. Do like 3 videos a day. Like, there you go. You really want to do it. Like, I guarantee if you do 3 videos a day, you'll get there real quick. It won't take you more than 2 years. Doesn't matter what but same thing. Like, it's the answer is always like just get down to work and do a lot more.
Because I took a blogging course like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and that was their advice. It was like, look, if you want to get traction and get ranking, you have to write like 2 blog posts a day, and you put out a ton of content, and that way Google has a lot of stuff to seize upon. And anyway, it was really, really interesting just to see how that all connected up.
There's the other school of thought that says do less but higher quality, kind of like Brian Dean kind of school of thought, right? Skyscraper.
So
do higher quality.
So I did have to do some of that, but you still have to put it out there where people are going to find it and promote it, so that it can essentially go somewhat viral.
Yeah.
And so if you're writing great content and you're not promoting it, I think you're better off just writing a ton of mediocre content.
So I stole from Talib on this. Actually, on my FinCon talk, I was talking specifically about this. I stole from Nassim Nicholas Talib, the barbell strategy, right? So the barbell strategy says that basically it can be applied to a lot of things in life, but the barbell strategy essentially says this is it's like for investing, you take 90% of your wealth, of your investment, and you put it into something stable that is going to give you a high, like guaranteed returns, very, very stable, secure investment. And then you take 10% and you put that into more speculative type investments that have high potential returns, like 1,000-fold potential returns. And then the idea there is that you're basically hedging yourself. You're balancing your, like if you just took 100% of your investment and you just put it in safe, stable returns, you have capped your upside, right? You're not going to get more than 9% return per year, right? It's not going to happen like that's so you've got no, but you're also not going to lose your ass. But if you take 90% of it and put it there, and you have like this 10% where you've got like risky or investments where you can get 1,000-fold, you're never going to get wiped out. But you're going to have a chance at having, like, your upside is much less bounded. It's more of an unbounded upside. And so, I mean, you can apply that to fitness, to relationship, to all kinds of ideas. But I think when it comes to content production, what I was talking about in the FinCon talk was this idea that like 90% of your strategy is to be prolific as hell. Prolific as hell is a great strategy. Get up to bat a lot of fucking times. But you take 10%, and 10% is creating epic content that you promote, that you make the best. And if you look at like what we did with Simple Programmer, where we've got, I mean, essentially, like, we didn't plan necessarily out that strategy, but we sort of fell into that strategy, right? Because when we look at our blog posts on Simple Programmer, 90% of it is just content mill. Like, we're just producing, right? It's being prolific, but we've got this 10% that is like the epic shit. Like, the first epic piece that I wrote was the complete guide, the ultimate guide to software developer podcast, or ultimate whatever it was. And when I wrote that thing, that took a long fucking time to build that list together and make that page. That became like one of our, like, one of our huge traffic sources. It still is right now. And then we saw the same thing happen with the interview questions, and like, so creating that, like, having that balance, that 90-10, I think that's about the best strategy that you can have. Because the people that just do the creating epic shit all the time, the ones that succeed, you see, but the ones that don't succeed, you don't see. So that's the problem with it, is that like it's got that bias built in, because the survivorship bias, right? So, but if you do both strategies, you're gonna balance it out, and you're not gonna fail. Like, the prolific strategy will work. But it's just very unlikely to get you stellar results. But it will work. It will grow and build you over time. But having that, again, I wouldn't want to put all my eggs into the create epic content strategy, because there's people that create awesome epic content and you never ever hear of them.
That's true. Like, they're both. I think if let's say you put 3 years in producing prolific content or 3 years in producing epic content, at the end you might actually end up even after all of the said and done work.
Yeah. Well, what will happen is, if you look at that, right, again, like, you could look at financial markets, you could look at poker, right? These all, like, that Thinking in Bets book was such a good book because of that. But the volatility is higher on the second strategy, right? So if you did the 3 years, you did prolific strategy, right? You're like, the band of your success would be tight. It'd be like, you might be like this high, or you might be this low. Like, you're going to have, pretty predictable results, right? That are within a range. If you did just the skyscraper, just the epic content strategy, and you took 100 people that did this, right? Their results would be all over the map. There'd be some people that would be way up here. There'd be some people that had no traction at all, zero, right? It'd be a much higher volatility, and so that's why that mix is so powerful, is because you don't want that volatility. You don't want your whole strategy for a business to be a fucking lottery ticket. That's like 3 years and you're in lottery. Yeah, maybe I'll make millions of dollars, or maybe I wasted 3 years of my life creating epic content that no one fucking cares about at all, right? It's better to mix the ticket.
You would learn to do epic content the right way if you literally spent all your time just doing that instead of producing prolific content.
But there's no guarantee of success. So, for example, let's say that you created a YouTube channel, okay? And over 3 years, you had one guy that was creating let's say 5 videos a day. Let's just go to the extreme end, right? And then you had another guy over that same 3-year period that was producing 1 video a month, but one super epic quality, like film grade documentary type of quality video. Now, there's the guy that's making 5 videos a day. He's going to get traction. There is no way that this guy is not going to have some level of success in 3 years. That it's pretty much guaranteed. There's a small percentage chance that it would be 0, but it's like 99% chance he's going to have success. The guy that did 1 video a month, he's only got 36 videos. Now, the chance of every single one of those striking out is not too bad. Like, he could end up with 0, he could end up with nothing, but he could also end up stellar. So even though the person has become good at creating the epic content, it's just that the thing is, like, 36 videos out of the billion videos that exist on YouTube. I don't even know how many videos there are on YouTube, right? That's it's such a small percentage that there is a very high odds of completely bonking, completely having zero response or near 0 response from it. So that's why that I think that strategy it doesn't make sense at all.
Chuck, you had something you wanted to mention.
Sorry, I hate to derail the conversation.
No.
One thing I wanted to ask real quick, and I have a podcast interview with somebody in 15 minutes, so I'm gonna have to bail after 15 minutes. Anyway, my question is mostly, I've now had 2 or 3 people say that they're interested in doing sales for me. And this is something I've been talking about for a while, for like the sponsorship sales and stuff like that. Okay. So the thing that I'm running into now is I'm worried, whether or not I'll be able to pay them. And I think I could probably push both of these people to just do straight commission, and then it won't be as much of a deal. But I might wind up giving up a higher percentage by doing that. The other thing that I'm wondering about is, I don't know. I think that's my main barrier is just, how do I know I can pay them?
Well, make them commission only.
What?
Make them commission only.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a, I don't know. The question.
I think there's a trade-off to that.
Though. Yeah, because there's a question, like, do you get the best salespeople if you offer commission only?
No.
But there's I tend to agree with you, Josh, but there's a contradiction in my mind that I can't get over, which is, if you're the best salesperson, why do you care about a base?
You'll take it.
Probably because when you're in sales, there's more factors than just you.
Well, the other thing is that the people that are going to take commission only, they're the people that are terrific salesmen, and B think they're terrific salesmen, right?
Right.
Well,
it's a measure of confidence more than anything else.
What do you have to lose?
Fair enough.
Well, no, there is stuff to lose. Okay, so there's a couple of things.
There's stuff to lose. There's your reputation.
This is the whole racking the shotgun thing, right? The Perry Marshall. So if you take that circle of the people who are willing to work only on commission, 95% of them are probably hacks, right? Who think that they're skilled salespeople, right? Because they're like, well, fuck, I'll just work for commission. Like, typically when you find people that will work for free or for cheap or for, most of them are going to be in the hacks. There's going to be, like, I don't know, maybe it's 5 or 10% that are the super skilled salesmen, but you're not going to have any in between, right? They're either going to be shit or they're going to be really good, because someone who's in between, they know that they need the base. They're not stupid. They're mediocre and they know it. So you're gonna have more shitty people applying than good. If you offer a base, I feel like it flips the other way, right? Where you're gonna have you're going to have more of the like good salesmen that are in there that are high quality, and then less, and then you're still going to have shitty people that are going to apply for it. But the risk involved with hiring people free for commission is relationship and opportunity costs. Because if you if you got that pool of, and 95% of them are shitty sales that are just like, that have no sales experience or suck, and you put them in front of your clients or potential, like you've got a certain pool of your potential advertisers, and they pitch them wrong, and they fuck up that deal for you in the future, then that costs you a lot of money.
Yeah. So let me tell you a little bit about the situation. So the two people are, one of them is my neighbor. And he does, I'm trying to remember, but he does a whole lot of like process management and account management for a fairly large company, and he works from home. And so we were just chatting, and I was like, well, I'm looking for somebody to do some account management and sales. And he said, well, I'd be interested in that. So we haven't talked at all, whether, commission or base or anything. Right. And yeah, I want to make sure it's worth his time, but I also want to make sure that it's worth it to me. The other one's my brother, and he does process management consulting for SAP. And he did a bunch of sales and stuff for a startup that he was involved in a couple of years ago. He was basically their main sales and account management, relationship management guy for that. And they were pretty successful until the CEO tanked the whole thing. So yeah, it's not so much that I'm going to put something out there and say, hey, I want commission only. It's more that I'm talking to people that I trust already and trying to figure out what'll work for them.
Well, you just made it damn simple. Neither of them. Fuck this. You do not want to go into business with your neighbor or your brother. So,
okay. I was thinking the same thing.
No way. There's no way that ends well. Like, there's no way it ends well. And you know, I would not. Yeah. I wouldn't push that with a 10-foot pole.
And just in general too, like what I would probably look for would be, if we weren't going to disqualify them right off the front like this, would be, okay, like rather than hire them to put together a sales plan. Like if I handed you this account, what would, here's $500, like spend 2 days or 3 days or whatever, and tell me exactly how you would do this, write up,
right.
Interview me, write up what your script for the sales calls, like do the, basically have them design the whole thing. I mean, we did this when we hired a bookkeeper. John basically had them all. This was such a pain, but you had them create QuickBooks accounts, right? Or QuickBooks accounts, and like set them up. And it ended up being like kind of a logistical headache. But we got a pretty good idea up front who was going to be asking good questions and and who was thinking the right way. And you're working with them already. So, and it's a closed-ended deal where if you like what they put together, you can decide to work with them or not.
Right.
But I wouldn't. Yeah, I think I agree with John. I wouldn't even go there with these two.
Yeah, that's something I've gone back and forth on. But
in fact, I think Ultimate Sales Machine, right? Chet Holmes. He's got a couple chapters in the book where he talks about how to hire a sales team, and he basically says,
I don't remember that.
He says never to hire a salesperson by themselves. He said always hire them in twos so they compete against each other, and then you're going to get rid of one of them, right? Like, I mean, otherwise you're not going to have that. Like, salespeople thrive on competition. So it's like having one lovebird or beta fish or something. I don't know, but.
You're supposed to only have one beta fish.
Oh,
or one of them ends up
dead. The other one.
Yeah,
I like to see the one win and kill them.
Right.
Out.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. And I think you guys are right. It was just an easy solution because I could just say, okay.
No, it's not.
There is no easy solution for hiring someone.
It is a very difficult solution clothed in the garb of an easy solution.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I do think it is a good idea for you eventually to get someone to do sales. The other strategy would be to just like train someone up.
How much would one good sales deal bring you?
I probably have $50,000 to $100,000 a quarter of open sponsorship space that I don't sell every quarter.
No, so total. What's the total sponsorship space you have available any given quarter?
It's about $170,000, I think.
Okay, so that's the potential, or $170,000 multiplied by 4, $680,000 is the total money online.
Right. That's the thing that I'm looking at here is that I realized that they could take me. I bring in about, I think last year it was $250,000 gross
from sponsorships.
Yeah.
And you could have almost triple that amount.
Right. So
well, with a good salesperson, triple that amount, let's say, because they can get more money for you.
Well, let's say that they even double it, right? Let's say I bring somebody in and they even double it. I mean, that easily pays for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go to hire salespeople, though.
To Best Buy.
Toyota.
No, not fucking car dealerships. Those are the worst salespeople.
Well, you're saying Best Buy is better?
They're better. They're better. They have to do something to sell their shit.
Oh my God. I think car salesmen are the best. They have to really hustle to make that sale.
Fucking GameStop is the best place because those guys are like those guys, seriously, they know their shit.
Oh, Blockbuster employees.
Yes, Blockbuster employees.
All right, guys, I'm leaving.
No. Yeah.
Upwork or Indeed. Well, I mean, we're any of the job sites now, I guess, at that point.
You think I can find a good salesperson on Upwork?
Or you could literally
your audience.
You could reach out to your audience.
Oh, there's an idea.
And just say, hey, I'm looking for salesmen. If you are interested in sales, apply here and just open up a application form on your website.
Yeah,
run your own ads.
Yeah, this is one of those things though to like. Okay, go back, get Ultimate Sales Machine book again. Read through the relevant chapters on how to hire salespeople because that's going to be some of the best wisdom on how to do it. And then go out and do a little bit of research and look to see what people are saying on how to today's technology space where to find and where to hire salesmen, and then do the pairing. Do 2 salespeople. Figure out what you need to offer them for base commission. Like, what is the optimal offering for you to do this,
right,
and pilot this out. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it the right way, so that you can get the results that you need from this. Because this is one of those things like that has the potential to double your business, right? Like in 6 months, if you do this now, in 6 months, you could be your business could be doubled just by this one thing, and you could be doing less work because
I was going to say it'd be doubled and I wouldn't really have to do it. In fact, I'd be doing less.
Right.
So yeah.
That's the whole power of people.
Yeah. I've been resisting that for a long time. I mean, Michelle has kind of pushed me on a lot of this stuff, which has been a good thing, but yeah.
That actually makes sense. If you're leaving that much money on the table.
Yeah, and it's because I don't have time to chase it. And I've had Michelle reaching out to people to see if they want to come on a sales call, and she's gotten a couple people to line up a call with me. But yeah, if I could have somebody else, jump in and work through it, and if they're having trouble selling, give me the feedback so that we can figure out how to adjust things so that it matches up with what people want to buy.
But the thing I'll tell you right now, the thing that's going to get you the quality salesman, it's not about the base commission, and it's not about not the base commission. I mean, I think there's a factor there as a filter, but it's what you said when it's the question Manny asked when he said, what is the total like addressable market that you've got, like your total inventory value, right? Your inventory value is what's going to make the salesperson's mouth salivate, right? When you're like, there's $750,000 worth of potential sales here. That's what, because then they're going to say, oh, okay, so if I can sell out this shit, I'm going to make some dough. And so that's your pitch. That's the reason why they work for you.
Yeah.
I've got to jump off, but I have one more question really quick. And that is, what about renewals? So people that I already have sold.
How much effort does it take on your part to do those renewals?
I send them an invoice.
Well, so then make that part of the sales guy.
Right, but then do I offer him a lower commission on those?
No, you don't give him any commission. Those are yours. You keep your customers. A sales, just like a normal salesperson, like if you're a salesperson, then those are your people. So your
portfolio.
Yeah. So when those pass over, you lose them, then you stop maintaining your clients.
Okay.
But when the ones that they get and they renew, that's theirs, and let them have their commission on their renewals.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, I got to jump off because I got to interview this guy. My thought, I'll just throw a thought out there real quick. So I went back on keto, and it was mostly because I just realized that I needed to take care of my health and focus on that. And I've been going through the keto flu, which is the headaches and everything else. And what I realized is that A, nothing's for free, and B, some things you have to prioritize them over, the things that seem important, because I'm not feeling bad at the moment, but I know that I'm out of whack. And sometimes you have to take care of the things that don't feel painful at the time and have the discipline to take care of them. So, All right.
All right. See you, Chuck.
Yep. And next week I won't be on. My family and I are taking a trip up to Park City. So
nice.
All right. Bye.
Take care.
See ya.
One of the things I'm also considering is having someone to do like discussion style summaries with me rather than doing the summaries as I do them. What I'm finding, like I actually was at University Club, just doing a book discussion with another guy, and that was like so much better than any summary I could do just by sitting by myself. And even if it's like 5 to 10 minutes longer, if the person could just ask better questions and involve in a discussion, it actually elevates the quality of thing and makes it much more fun for the listener, more engaging. It's almost like a podcast where you literally enjoy a whole lot more rather than listening to a summary where it can make you fall asleep.
Yeah.
All right. So
have you done some of those already with the audience? And
no, I haven't done them. So that's part of the thinking right now. I think I talked to John a little bit about it, but that would be really cool way to, because it would be a completely different way of doing these compared to what has been done so far, which is everyone does a monotonous summary. I thought I never wanted to do those monotonous summaries, so I kind of started doing summaries without a script because I hated that idea. But even then, it's just me talking, which can still be not as engaging as having someone else like just ask these little questions and talk about that a little bit more, which forces you to think about other books, other ideas, other topics, interrelate, correlate, and really can bring out the best in terms of enthusiasm, passion, performance, all of those things.
We've definitely found, with this course, I've definitely found that for Jason, especially putting him in the webinar environment, like night and day difference in how, like the level of energy that he's able to bring to it.
Where you're questioning him, where you're asking questions?
Well, so not even that. So the way we've been doing it is we broke it up into 3 modules, and then we kick each module off with a webinar that kind of covers the material, and then we take that material and we give them assignments for each day. So they've got, it's 3 chunks with assignments that you're working towards, like kind of the goal for the week. And so what we've been doing was initially I said, okay, Jason, go off and like outline this webinar, and then we'll record it. And then he wasn't really able to do that because he wasn't able to dig into the material in his own head deep enough. So we started getting on Skype together, and it's really painful, but I'm like basically interviewing him on Skype, and we're writing the script together. And we literally we're writing it out almost word for word. And then when we get into the webinar, like he goes through that script, and it does not sound like he's reading it at all. He's like super comfortable, high energy. Like we did it this way for the webinar we did this week, and it was incredible. Like it was really, really good. And because we'd worked on it together, the depth of the material was a lot greater. But I'm there, like just him knowing that there's people listening, like really amps up the volume, the energy level. And then for me to be there and like just throw in thoughts or ask a question or something, or interject with a question from the audience, kept it. I really like that format.
Yeah. There's a difference between narration and teaching, and the teaching aspect really kicks in when you have someone else involved who's kind of there watching, or actually asking, or like prodding you along, interviewing you, or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, and for Jason, he's a coach more than a teacher,
right?
Which is different, right? A teacher is like somebody who's used to getting up, like in front of a room and presenting their material for the masses. And Jason is like somebody who works one-on-one and assesses in real time what the other person needs.
More like Q&A.
Yeah, reconfigures their. He teaches it differently depending on who he's working with.
Yeah.
So for him, he didn't really have the tool set yet to teach it. So basically I had him teach me. And then, then we organized it better, and then he's able to just go with it. So
yeah. So I'm trying to figure that out. That would be really cool to do that, but that like now needs another person.
All right, I gave him 5 minutes. He was a no-show, so I'm back.
So
we were talking about you, Chuck. Now this is awkward. No, I'm kidding.
We're still thinking about you.
No, it does make a big difference though. Like someone just interviewed me, and I was looking at I just doing the interview. I was like, oh shit, man! Like all this stuff was flowing. Like I was pumped up. It was like
it's exactly.
Share this interview. Like you guys got to watch this interview. It brings out, or even just want to do a live stream. There's a different energy.
Yeah,
right.
If you have like a discussion, but yeah, I think it's a good idea. Well, like I said, I mean, we'll have to figure out something. And if you just want me to jump on a call or something, I'll jump on a call and discuss a book with you too. So
which is cool. That's fun to do on the channel. But like in terms of like ongoing and like having someone who literally is as dedicated to just like doing book summaries almost on a day. Like here's the thing. What I need, and I got some interesting feedback on this whole lot. So Chuck, what we're talking about is kind of similar along the lines of what we were talking about, but very different.
That sentence contained no information.
Just giving him some context, but not really.
That's some high quality this is context right there.
So what I'm thinking of, like instead of doing the summaries just by myself, which I record a lot of times sitting in front of a computer, looking at the mind map and recording the summaries, which sometimes can, vary in the level of energy and the enthusiasm and the excitement and the passion that comes through. Instead of that, I would have someone who's with me talking about their idea. So someone kind of, him and I going back and forth, talking about that, like discussing the idea and really bringing it to life in some ways, the summary or something. So I'm thinking of getting some person like that to be able to do those, that kind of summaries rather than just me doing the summaries myself. Yeah. So thanks for the feedback, Chuck.
Well, Manny, one thing too that has come out of me working with Jason like this is that you pretty quickly, we pretty quickly would fall into a pattern where it's like, oh, okay, well, here's the exact format. I bet you, like, I haven't actually watched any of the Mixergy videos, but I bet you anything that he's got like an ironclad formula for those. And I know I'm pretty sure John Lee Dumas has at least did that for a long time, where he basically just had the exact formula that he'd go through every single time. And I think if you did 3 or 4 of them, then that, it would be very obvious.
Yeah.
What the,
I mean,
especially if you went through them with somebody, right? So you have somebody new going through it with you and asking you, why are you doing that? Or wait, I didn't quite follow that.
Yeah, I mean, these are book summaries, so you need a little knowledge of that specific book to be able to ask the right kind of questions. Unlike John Lee Dumas's interviews, which were all like the same interview every freaking time. You could put a robot there and the interview would still be the same, right? But in this case, it's different because it goes into a different kind of depth and analysis and all that stuff. Depending on the interviewer, the quality could be very high or very low. So one of the things that I got feedback on where I was with Summit, like I was talking to people, like some of this stuff, and they're like, oh, how about you just, maybe you find someone who wants to be an apprentice or who wants to learn this kind of stuff, who loves to read books in your audience, and you hire them to do this kind of stuff. And that was interesting. But it would be, I'm trying to figure out, like, maybe I start with someone on a contract, I'd say, okay, do these books. We'll do the summary. Like, I'll give you $100 or whatever to do the summary with me, and make sure you read, send your notes, blah, 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 and then just kind of roll it out from there. And at some point, like as I'm thinking about it, the bigger ambition would be like, just have 2 people discuss these books after they've read like 20, 30 books on the topic, so that it's not just me who's summarizing these books all the time.
Don't offer money. That'll put you down the wrong road, though, because anyone that would take $100 to do a book summary is not someone who you want to do a book summary, right? You want people that will do it free because they're so, they're so energized by the idea. They're such a fan. They want to, like, would like to see themselves.
I would start with your audience.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I think John's right about finding someone who would do it for free. I think the idea would be that you can eventually you do want to pay that person, bring them into the business, but that there's somebody who is, enthusiastic enough that they're willing to jump in and do it just because because I mean, you kind of started doing this for free, right? Yeah. I mean, so you need somebody with that same level of interest in it, but then eventually with the goal of like maybe you go through a couple of those people, but you find somebody who could be on the payroll.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could be paid per book basis or whatever. But how do you, so you just sell them on the idea that we're going to do this book summary and you're not going to get anything out of it?
It's easier said. It's easier sold than said, actually. Like, remember, in this little microcosm that we live in this entrepreneur world, we perceive things a lot differently, right? Like most people, like there's a regular world out there where people, like, get this, they're living in cubicles. They check into work at 9 a.m. every day. They sit at their desk. They fill out a timesheet, right? Like, their life doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, for them,
I can't do that world anymore.
Like, there's a world out there. I promise you, it exists like that. All right. And those people, when you're like, hey, I have this company where I do like book summary. Well, they're part of your audience, but like, hey, would you like to be on one of these book summaries? Like, to do one of these book summaries with me? They're like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just the prospect of just not even getting paid, just doing it is something that excites them. That you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like the potential of maybe this could be a business that you get paid for later. Oh yeah, you have
and the fact that you have a bit of a personality business makes this easier, Manny, because there's going to be people out there that are fans and they'd be happy just to work with you on this.
So I don't sell them as like a possible future job, but it's more like Hey, you want
maybe you pick a specific. All right, here's one angle. Pick one book review that you'd like to do this with. Pick a specific book. Say, hey, I am doing, and make sure the book is in like an area where a lot of your book reviews are. I'm doing a book review on David Allen's Getting Things Done. I know you've already done that one, but and I'm going to try something different on this one. I'd like to bring in somebody from the audience who's also passionate about this to do it with me. Kind of like sing with your favorite star up on stage.
Exactly.
And then and then have some kind of application process. Maybe they have to submit some thoughts. Maybe you make them read the book ahead of time and submit a summary or something. So you cut down the number of applications.
Yeah.
And then, you do a few of those, or if you find somebody you really like, then, or maybe record with 5 of them and see, don't tell them necessarily. But, then pick the best one or something like that. But
yeah, I think, it's probably better to record one book with 5 or 10 of them to figure out who really kind of gets the whole idea.
Yeah, and there'll be a personal chemistry there too. You want it to work.
And you drop a little breadcrumbs every now and then. Like, you don't make any promises. You just like, and if this works out, if the business grows, maybe we could, like, there could be some future for you in the business, right? Like I think that's how you do it, rather than saying, someday you'll get paid. Like that's like you just kind of drop a few breadcrumbs just so they plant the idea in their head, and they're the ones that fantasize about it.
Right. I mean, ideally, this would be the way I could do the summaries in the future. But what you're suggesting is the way to just get the first employee in the door to kind of figure out how to, like, to get the first test in and a first possible person in. So if that works, then I can scale it again and again. Then actually, literally, I can hire for that job and say, this is what we're looking for.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we hired Sheena to do the Bulldog book. And then she's been a lifesaver. We've used her for this course. So Jason and I do our meetings throughout the week to get the webinar content fleshed out. And then I go, okay, Sheena, I need 4 emails and 4 worksheets out of this material. Here are the 4 blocks, go. And then she comes back to me with a draft.
She's writing email copy?
She's writing the lesson emails. It's not really sales. It's not sales copy. It's just content delivery copy.
Okay.
And I gave her some example emails that I'd used for my copywriting workshop a couple years ago. And she modeled it off after that. And it's worked really well. So, she's like somebody that I can, she's a resource now that I can tap whenever I've got some kind of more intensive content production to do.
I'm thinking about having her write another book. Paying her to write another book. Because now she's done the whole process. It'd be much faster, and she's got the contacts for everything. So
yeah. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna reach out and see what comes out of this experiment.
That was another lesson in hiring, though, of the golden, we got Rodrigo, right? And the Sheena thing, because I'd put out this email for looking for writers, and we got a lot of applications,
100?
A lot of people,
100, 100 or so.
Yeah, and
75 to 100
applications, as in people applied for the you had an job application where you ask questions and stuff.
Yeah, and they submit writing samples, right? Big ones too. So there was a filter on there for sure. And everyone was shit. Everyone was shit. There was there was a few people and
maybe they turned 5 out to be, that we even considered.
And they still really kind of turned out to be shit. Except for Sheena. When I saw her, I was like, she's the one, right? It was so obvious, right? So yeah. But it's she's like a diamond in the rough, right? It's you have to go through so many people to find that magical, right person that's just got the, I don't know, like that set of skills, not necessarily the skills, the work ethic and the dependability and all these, you know, these type of soft skills that are so important. So
mommy skills.
Yes, the mommy skills.
Nice. Yeah. Sounds like a bigger project than I would like to embark on and have like 50 people apply and stuff like that. But that might be the only way to kickstart this.
It is you will do that process regardless. What you will do is you will do it 5 times.
Yeah.
And there will be long, painful delays in the middle.
Yeah, no, I mean, every time I hire, it's the same freaking, like, a lot of pain and hurt before you get anyone useful out of it, which is,
I went through that. I think we've all been through it.
Yeah, you're probably partly still hurt from the last few, so you're still like kind of tentative on the pulling the next trigger, right?
Yeah,
it just
a little bit. Yeah.
It's like, you know, you're gonna sink in so much effort, and you might get nothing out of it for a long time before you actually get anything out of it.
Well, in my particular case, I mean, hiring somebody to take some of these tasks off my plate was less risky for me than hiring a salesperson. Right? Because hiring somebody to take some of these tasks off my plate, it was like, okay, well, if these things fail to happen, I can just scramble and make it up. With the sales, I mean, these are real opportunities with real customers.
You're playing with live ammo.
Yeah. So, you know, same thing for you, right? Where if you're hiring somebody to do these book reviews, if they're not good, or book summaries, you just don't publish them. I mean, you spend a bunch of money, but that's all you're risking. And so, but the flip side is the reward is higher, right? Same for me. With, if you can get somebody to start doing some of these book summaries, then you have product creation that, you know, it's essentially free money. And if they start doing a really terrific job, then you have a better product. And for me, it's the same kind of thing, right? Because it's, if I can get somebody that can sell some of the inventory that I can't, then you know.
Yeah, and the thing is, I am not delusional enough to believe that I am the only one who can do summaries the way I can or whatever.
Right.
I think there are a lot of great people who could study a book and do a really good job if they study their topic on 10 other books and really bring out a lot of great details on it and tell really good stories. And it's really about stories anyways. Same way with your sales. Like, I'm sure there are salespeople who can do a much better job than you will ever do, right? Because that's not your thing. And then the scalability is much higher. If I get 1 or 2 of these people, or, you know, then it's like freaking automating the business at that point. It's a different game.
Yeah. And then, you know, I mean, the thing that we do with Simple Programmer, right, is we don't pay the writers. There's plenty of people that are willing to write for us for the exposure of being on Simple Programmer. But we pay the curator, essentially, the editor, right? Her team to. So I think that model would work for you, something similar to where you are basically like the paying someone to find the people and organize it. If you're scaling this, to produce the content.
Well, you would, like, the thing is, then, I mean, that's the ambition, right? To be able to scale this. And I've never had the personality business thing, right? You guys know that. I've always stood against it. Even at Wit Summit, I got into 2 different conversations with people about why they should stop trying to act like they're the big deal personal brand and just build a business. So I'm all about, like, not worrying about me as the person and more like trying
But you're selling it still. I mean, I don't know whether you want to be a brand or not. You are, like, it just, you can't escape. Like, there's always a spokesperson. I mean, shit. You sent me that book on Tom's shoes, right? Who's on the fucking cover of it? It's Tom.
It's totally fair. I can still do all of the above, but Tom is not making the shoes. Tom is just selling the story now.
He's the face. You have to have like. There's a reason why you know, why Nike and Adidas and Sprite, you know, pay famous athletes to represent their brand. They're the spokesperson.
which is fine. But Nike has a scalable spokesperson. Like they can literally replace the person any given day and have a new one. And that's why the business is so freaking amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's like anyone can go and be their spokesperson tomorrow. It could be Venus Williams, it could be Serena, whoever it is. Like, doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, going back to the initial point, like, I don't really. It's not about me doing the summaries.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have like higher quality come through if I can involve other people to do those things with me. And hopefully in the long term, it's not me at all. It's just two people talking and doing those. And what I was trying to say to your question, to your comment about the editor, is that I would have to pay my summarizers because that's the real value that we're selling. Ultimately,
not necessarily.
We're selling the summaries.
Yes, but people...
we're not putting that content on for free. It's in the membership site.
It's potentially.
Right. It's almost like what summary businesses do for their writers, we would do for people doing audio interviews on those books or something like that. Yeah. I'm gonna work on it. We should wrap up.
Yep,
we should. Can I ask one more thing real quick?
Famous last words. Famous first words for another 20-minute segment. Go ahead.
Yeah, probably. Sorry. You can just tell me. I think I already know the answer anyway. But I'm looking at actually bowing out of a number of the shows that I do every week. I've kind of been talking about this for a while. So I need to either find hosts or, find people to take over making sure that the shows happen for some of these shows. I'm a little worried that some of the shows will die if I leave. Because I am the one that rallies a lot of people to show up. I don't know.
That's a question for next week, maybe. Yeah, because I think that's a good question, and it's kind of a bigger one.
Yeah, I am not going to be here next week, so maybe in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
I can ask again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that is a possibility that you'd have to be prepared for, but there's probably some steps that you could put in place, and maybe the priority happens in the order or the reverse order in which they are valuable to you.
Right.
So smallest first. Kind of thing.
You can also phase out where you don't participate in the show, but you round up the people for a while. You know what I mean?
That's true. The other thing I thought about is just telling everybody, look, I'm just going to be coming every other week so that I can spend a little bit more time getting everything together for the shows. And then I start backing it off more. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I'm going to drop off here. See you guys later.
All right. See you, Josh.
See you, Josh.
Thoughts? You need more at-bats. That's my Gary Vee thought. You need more at-bats.
At-bats. Okay.
At-bats.
Mine, I think I've said it before, and I always forget this shit, but there's no real better energizer or thing that makes you feel more, alive and ready to kick some ass than kicking some ass, like doing like the hard work, right? Like it's like this week I was back, and I mean I just set my schedule. I was like, okay, I'm doing the Pomodoro. I'm like working during the day. I'm not goofing off. I'm not like, I'm basically just sitting down and like planning out my week and like going through all of the steps that I was above because I don't need to do this shit anymore because I'm already like super productive. And, did that, said, no, fuck, let's just put the schedule. Let's just do the thing. Let's plan out everything. Let's like take the steps and actually run the Pomodoro timer. And I feel so much better. Like I got a ton of stuff done. Like things are turning over and yeah, I just forget that, like, because you get to this point where you're like, oh, you know what I need is a break. And that's not what you need. The break is the thing that makes you feel lethargic and lazy and tired out, right? It's like the kicking ass is what gives you energy, and it's so contradictory. It's so you don't realize that's the thing. Like it's her, and you forget it. It reminds me of fucking like binge drinking, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, never doing that again, and then you do it again. It's like it's the same thing. It's like I go into this cycle of being lazy, basically, and then I think that's the cure, and that's the ailment. So, this is my recorded testimony of it. But no, but seriously, like kicking ass is the cure for a lot of things.
Yeah. Boom. All right, guys. Chuck already gave his thoughts.
Yep. All right.
Later.
See you next week.
Hey, John, I'm going to give you a call.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Right.
And I may actually kick an email out about the podcast thing just because I'd like some feedback now, and then we can have a deeper discussion later.
Sounds good. All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.